What's good, everybody? Welcome back to part 2, episode 16.5 of 40-second news, the Elect-isode. Last episode, we covered the ridiculous rhetoric revolving around our rich rulers, and now we're covering the actual voting process and maybe a little voter suppression. Just kidding. Definitely a little voter suppression. And we're going to cover it all because we're loco. Gotcha. Loco. Crazy what you'd have to be to not put your brain in the coveted ad slot. Interested? Hit us with a DM. Alright, let's get started. With a rare W for the Supreme Court, who unanimously decided that the thousands of Pennsylvanians who improperly mailed their absentee ballot because it was missing the first envelope, which then goes inside the outer envelope, will still get to vote if they so choose. Those ballots will still be invalid, but they can vote on location on election day with a provisional ballot. So if you're not sure, you may just want to check with your local polling location, just like many Virginia voters are going to have to do, after the state Supreme Court upheld their governor's executive order to continue systematically purging voter rolls of suspected non-citizens on a daily basis. That's despite the National Voter Registration Act, which mandates these purging systems pause 90 days from an election. That's despite multiple reports of U.S.-born citizens also being purged from the voter rolls with these systems. And that's despite the fact that the judge who originally blocked the executive order still allowed the state to continue purging citizens as long as it wasn't systemic. It's almost like they're trying to purge as many people as possible, even if they're citizens. So if you're in Virginia, double, triple check your voter status. Maybe even quadruple if you have a traditionally ethnic name. And it's definitely a tough day for Virginians when Georgia's making you look bad. I'm just playing. Y'all are fine. But that's only because of Atlanta and ACLU and Southern Poverty Law Center. Because now residents of Cobb County will have 3 extra days to process the incoming mail-in ballots as long as they're postmarked by 7 p.m. on election day, due to 3,000 absentee ballots being mailed late to residents. Thank God for these organizations, otherwise the decision may not have happened, and then this disproportionately rich white area wouldn't have gotten to vote. Oh, it's not that way at all? Interesting how that works. I wish we would have had a good metaphor for something like this, where outside forces are just trying to pry it directly out of your hands. Oh well. Congratulations to the stupid Dodgers for their World Series. I've been a Yankees fan my whole life, but let's admit it, we're the bad guys in this scenario. See, Republicans? Not that hard to accept. Or we could just use another metaphor, or maybe an analogy or an example, but when it rains, it pours. And that's true for Spain, the Philippines, and it's definitely true for Palestine. If there's anything that proves that this election means not very much in the grand scheme, it's that we can all see such obvious suffering and have so little power to actually stop it. That's the Elect-isode. Get active in your local community.